Hello and welcome to I24 News World Cup show covering all the events from Brazil, where football was played for 120 minutes and at the end, the Germans won. The Nationalmannschaft are the new world champions after beating Argentina 1-0 in the final. We have three guests with us tonight, football analyst Isan Peled and Uriel Dascal, and Dr. Eyal Gertman from the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, expert on German affairs. Join Berlin, agony in Buenos Aires, and 4 long years to wait for all this again. All that and more coming up. Let's get started. Eyal, what was the night like in Germany?
You can try to imagine. More than 35 million people watched the game in Germany, and this is not including all the people on the street on the fan zone. Berlin last night, more than 300 people on the street and more at home. I think you can imagine the feeling. Won the World Cup after 24 years, then the last time, the 4-star on the T-shirt, and everybody are happy. Begeistert in German.
And I want to ask you gentlemen, yes, Germany was not as impressive as in the semifinals, 7-1. We could expect that. But still, as the game progressed, it seemed they controlled the tempo.
I think I was never in doubt that Germany will win. I mean, you can check out my Twitter account even. I was pretty sure of that win.
Even after Higuain missed that opportunity on a very rare German defensive mistake?
Yeah, they had some, defenses, they had some mistakes, but okay, they're not a machine, okay? But, I mean, they looked as if they know how to win it, how they want to win it.
Yeah, it looked like they had a game plan and they executed it. And eventually they had a bit of luck, but they controlled the ball for more than 60% of the game.
And the luck goes with the good ones.
Yeah, of course.
They had almost double the complete passes. Argentina had none. We just talked about it. None shots on goal. Yeah. So it was a bit of luck, and maybe some red cards should have been shown. But eventually it was a reserved.
Also, they worked harder for it. They ran collectively 2 kilometers more than the Argentinians.
Schweinsteiger took the beatings for everybody. I think
Schweinsteiger he embodies that spirit of that win. I mean, he was bleeding, he was cramping, he was still
there for 120 minutes.
Yeah, he was in pain.
And eventually he ran more than 15 kilometers.
Yeah.
Almost, yeah.
More than 15.
And he's not a kid. He's 29 years old. What should we expect, Eyal, when the team is flying home? Huge celebration. They have not won the World Cup for 24 years.
Yeah, they plan to arrive tonight to Berlin and then start the winning ceremony. Afterward, they're going to travel all over Germany. In each place, you can find the Bundesliga team. And again, football is mix of emotion more than any other thing. So try to imagine how it's to be a Weltmeister, world champion holder in Germany. Most of the players are going to play in the next. We're going to see them in the next competition, in the Euro, in the World Cup. So we have more to expect in the future.
And by the way, the next match for German national team is against Argentina. They have a friendly match planned at the beginning of September. Very, very interesting to see that, and it will be held in Germany, so obviously it's very interesting. And it was a long night with millions in Argentina and in Germany just waiting to take on wild celebrations, but there can only be one winner. It was a long party night in Germany, not so much in Argentina.
For the 250,000 fans massed in front of Berlin's Brandenburg Gate, it was indeed a night to savour. On the other side of the world, in Rio, Germany saw off Argentina 1-0 to secure a 4th World Cup title. But it was a nerve-shredding match, needing a goal in extra time from substitute Mario Götze as the Mannschaft clinched their first global crown since 1990.
For sure, we were scared, but then we had Mario Götze, and afterwards, Germany won.
Now we've done it. We've won.
It's beautiful, and it's been so long. Germany are world champions.
For Argentina, meanwhile, despair. Up to 100,000 of their fans had made the trip north to Rio, most of them without match tickets. Hopes were high that 4 times World Player of the Year Lionel Messi might help deliver a first title since the glory days of Diego Maradona. But in the end, Germany had the edge, just like they did in Rome 24 years ago.
I think Argentina played really well. We played a good game and, well, we had bad luck in the end, but in the first half, we could have scored.
It was a fourth World Cup final victory for Germany and a first for a European side in the Americas. And the good news for German fans, the majority of this all-conquering squad should be around to defend the title in Russia in 4 years' time.
You know, this German team, the one game I enjoyed the most from Germany is the only one they didn't win, against Ghana, the 2-2. They gave a message: we play football, we let you play football, let the best one win. So different than Argentina that beat Iran that day, but it looked completely different.
I think the whole German concept of football, you know, football for fun, football as a game, is something they learned from, and that's why they're so good. And it's something, it's very evident in the Bundesliga. Most goals in top 5 leagues, most goals per game, yeah. And you have their, you know, fun-loving teams going, you know, gung-ho, trying to score. That's what's the game about. That's what they're doing.
I think the German national team is very versatile, and we've seen it throughout the tournament. They can play possession football, they can play direct football. And yesterday they played against a team that tried to defend most of the time, so they passed Germany, and they played this possession football.
Until they finally found the gap.
And it's kind of a bit more boring, this style of play. And when they played against a team as Ghana that plays an open attacking football, tries to play an open attacking football, so the German team can respond because it's so versatile, and they play the same way. They play.
Versatility is one of the key elements of this team.
And I would like to mention the tradition. It's 60 years after the wonder from Bern in 1954, when the German won the first time at the World Cup. This was a very important winning at that time, because this recovered Germany from the poor economical situation after the Second World War. So now we are 16 years afterward, and I would like to add what you said, the tradition. Traditional football, traditional sport culture, it's very, very popular, and the Germans keep it to themselves. You can see it by the name of the teams, of the year of the foundation of the team, like Schalke 04 or 1860 München. And the tradition to pass this love of the game, this quality, it passed from generation to generation. And we can see that players that play in this team are able to play another 2 or 3 World Cup in the future.
It's also worth to mention that they have most goals in World Cups history. I mean, traditionally, they were about attacking football.
We know 18 goals only in this World Cup.
Yeah, well, we know, you know, Germany, the stereotype of defensive football and all that.
The
70s and 80s. But also in the 70s, even against, you know, the total football of Holland, they played extremely attacking football. You know, they had Borussia Mönchengladbach and Bayern München, who were, you know, football machines that attacked and tried to score all the time.
And I want to ask you, Nitzan, we look at the German squad. We have Müller, we have Götze that scored the goal, we have Boateng. These are young players. Even the veterans are under 30. Schweinsteiger, Neuer. This is a team that's going to be very strong in the next Euro, in the next World Cup. This machine keeps on going.
The main thing you said is this is a team, because in so many other national sides are just a side of group of players coming to play together and gathering maybe a few times a year. But Germany, as a footballing nation, they work toward making the national team better all the time. And you can see that it's not like in Argentina, it's a very old group, and now they're going to have to find some new guys to make it up for. Germany, every tournament, every 2 years, if it's a Euro or World Cup, 2 or 3 or 4 new players integrated into the rotation.
In this World Cup, you have Drexler and Ginter and Daum. They didn't play, but they were there and they learned.
Marco Reus stayed at home. Just think about that.
So there's no need for like overhaul or changing of the guards. No, every tournament, a few more players.
Just a few more players adapt into the existing system.
Toni Kroos, who's very young, is a young player. He was a player, a squad player in 2010. You know, you had Ozil, Müller, Schweinsteiger, Boateng, Neuer.
The younger players incorporated.
And you can see the difference now. Klose is retiring. Klose replaced Müller before, and now the second Müller is going to replace Klose. I think he had the chance to break the record from Klose.
They need a Müller in the team.
As long as there's a Müller, as long as there's a Müller, is fine. And of course, the joy of one side is the agony of the other side. And what was meant to be a night of celebrations in Buenos Aires turned out to be a night of sadness, which soon turned to violence. Merav Savir with a story.
Celebration time in Germany. Thousands flooded the streets of the capital to celebrate the country's 4th World Cup victory, some with tears of joy in their eyes. It was a different story for Argentina and its fans, many with tears of anguish, and some with respect for what they accomplished.
They did everything. They beat each other up, but the Argentines did very well. I congratulate them. Very good. The team played very well. Really, they gave it their all from the beginning. It was fantastic to see how they played. In truth, they deserved to win. It's true. I'm very happy, excited even if they've lost. But I'm happy.
But most didn't share this view.
It was really ugly. The only thing I thought was that we were going to come out champions and that this would be a party, and this ended up not happening. Ugly, ugly, because we ended up losing 1-0.
Scuffles broke out in Buenos Aires between youth and riot police near the iconic obelisk monument, where earlier tens of thousands gathered to watch the game. Fans climbed on buses and lampposts, many chanting Argentina, Argentina. And even 3 hours after the final whistle, riot police were still trying to disperse them, using tear gas and water cannons as the youth threw rocks and tried kicking down storefronts. According to some reports, 15 police were injured and around 40 people were arrested. Regardless of the violence, Argentinians cheered on their national team and praised their international star Leo Messi, even with their dreams of a World Cup victory shattered.
Now, Uriel, an incredible statistic for Argentina. They played in the knockout stages. 4 of their games, 3 went to overtime, which meant that they played after the group stage 450 minutes, scoring 2 goals. 2 goals in 450 minutes. You cannot win a World Cup like this, and yet they were 7 minutes away from penalties, and then who knows what can happen.
That's how funny the World Cup is and football is. You know, you cannot, you need to score in order to win, but you can win without scoring. It's something weird. But I think, justice was done. When Germany, which was by far the best team in the World Cup, won it in extra time.
Yeah, football is, as you said, is a weird game, and it's kind of crazy. You said 2 goals. I think Messi that won the Golden Ball.
He did not score after the group stage.
He did not score after the group stage. Had only 1 assist, and he
disappeared for the past 3 games.
Yeah, and as you said, Germany were lucky because Higuain could score once or twice, and eventually Argentina was, as you said, 7 minutes away from penalties. So it's quite insane, but I think the football gods are happy with the final result.
Justice has been done. The best team won. I think it's a fact that we all agree on that.
The fact that you support Germany, I support Argentina, and I also have to agree shows that you're probably right.
I think Argentina really relied on their team spirit because they had a good team spirit. They really relied on it, and it took them that far. Also, an easier draw. They flew the least kilometers. Maybe Belgium flew
met the weakest teams.
Yeah, met the weakest team. They were
also
lucky.
helped them because Argentina were the oldest team in the tournament.
Yeah, they were the luckiest, most experienced in many ways, and they made it. But it just pushing it to beat such a team with quality like Germany is pushing it.
And you mentioned the fact that they're the oldest team in the World Cup, which means the generation has to change now, as opposed to what we've seen up until 7 or 8 years ago when Argentina was winning every under-20 World Cup. They are not even qualifying for the past tournaments. Where's Argentina going?
Yeah, that's a problem. As we said earlier about Germany, they have always new players integrated into the system. Argentina now kind of has to make an overhaul and this changing of the guards and find new players, and I don't know
who will come.
The biggest mistake was getting rid of Peckerman, who was a brilliant.
He grows up players. We see that in Colombia.
Yeah, he develops players. He knows exactly what the players need in order to become good national team players and
to play as a side.
The association, the football association in Argentina is
extremely corrupt.
Yeah, is a corrupt. It's a corrupt system. The league is in shambles. The best Argentinian player, who is Messi, he came to Europe really early.
Yeah, he's a European product.
I don't know if he could have made it as a player if he would have stayed in Argentina. So they need a major overhaul.
Maybe Ayalde should take a lesson from the Germans, how to grow up players.
I think Argentina has a problem with immigration. We can see the combination between immigration and football and the contribution of this immigrant in the new...
See that in Germany, see that in France.
In some other... In Argentina, correct me if I'm wrong, it's not exist. I think there's no immigration immigration wave in Argentina.
It was an immigration country 100 years ago.
100, of course, but now in the last decades, the last generation, we couldn't see anything.
I think Argentina and Brazil, in many ways, are too proud to take lessons from Europe. I know that Brazil rejected Pep Guardiola. They said we don't need a European
Oh my,
coach.
does Brazil need them?
Yeah, so they need to bring like Europe in many ways, bring in South American coaches.
Fresh blood.
And they learn from them.
Maybe it's time to consider those changes in South America. Obviously, Germany are the big winners here.
They were 5 minutes from winning it.
Yeah, all that is true. Nitzan Peled, Uriel Dascal, Dr. Eyal Gertman, always a pleasure to have you with us. And that's it for us today. We will be here again tomorrow to summarize this great tournament. See you then, and have a beautiful day.